welcome to this video. And in this video we are going to be examining the grid, which is also called the ruler, and also the shapes and the color. So we are going to be doing three things today. We are going to be looking at the grid right up here, the shapes, and the color. So the color is embedded in the shapes. So let us start with the grid. What a grid means is a ruler, is simply a ruler. A grid is used to align your work. It is used to arrange your work. If you're designing flyers, logos, posters, and some other things in Pixel Lab, in graphics design generally, you have to use the grid for best arrangement of your elements. Let's take, for example, this text on the screen, on my screen. Look at this text on my screen. I can just decide to place it anywhere, but without the grid, if I place it anywhere without a grid, okay, let me delete this text. You don't have to delete text if you have been watching the previous videos. So let me add a new text. All right, we have a new text on my screen and yet another one. So I have two texts on my screen. Let me give them same size, 40. Let me have a 40. Perfect. So I want the two elements on my screen to be aligned vertically. Like I want their sides to be aligned. Can you see they aren't aligned? But for me to be zooming and arranging them will be a whole lot of what? A whole lot of stress. But I can simply use my ruler. So that is the essence of the ruler in graphics design softwares. And here in Pixel Lab we have the ruler as this. So let us take a look at the ruler. We have two icons down here, and the first icon is the magnet icon. The magnet icon or the snap icon. Snap, S-N-A-P. So the snap icon is used, the snap tool is used to snap elements to lines of the grids. For example, this if I click on the snap element and I'm dragging the text, can you see it is like holding back my and giving red indication, holding back the elements and giving red indication, telling me that it has been centered. Do you get it? So that is the essence of the snap. If I put off the snap, if I disable the snap, can you see it is not giving me any red something, any red indication. So if I put on the snap, it's giving me any some red indication. That means it has been arranged, it has been placed in the center. Let me place it right up here. Let me place it right up here, and this one here. So it is snapping it to grid. That is what we call snapping to grid. All right, that's about snapping. And the second icon, the second tool is the settings tool to set your grid. As you can see, the icon, it indicates setting. And now we have some things under the setting. Now I said it in the introductory video, but I don't think it was explanatory enough, so I decided to make this video. So this first one is used to add. If I should click on this vertical ruler, and I should click on this icon that I just showed you now, it is going to add a new line ahead of it at the front of the one I clicked. So if I should click on another one, can you see it? Another one, on and on and on and on like that. So it is going to be dividing the space between it and the next one by 2, and it's going to place a ruler in between them. So that is about the first one. And the second one is for horizontal. So if I should do it like this, it's just like the first one. And the third one is if I want to cancel some grid lines. Can you see I'm already cancelling them? So if I want to cancel them, I can cancel the grid lines this way. And the next one is if I want to expand them, this one, if I should click on it, I can spread out the position. So I can move a particular grid. I can move a particular line to some position on my screen. So that is about the position. And the last one is the major settings of the grid. You can set the numbers of horizontal lines and the number of vertical guides that you have on your screen. So let's set it as, probably if you're designing, let's say, logo, you can set it as 9. 9. It depends on the type of logo actually, but if you are designing a vector logo, 9 is better, so it will give you 10 boxes on your screen. Let us take a look at that. So let us count the boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the vertical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is that about the grid. I hope you understand what the grid means now. So let us go to shapes. So shapes, I already talked about object editing generally. So let us let us go deep down into shapes. So we have the shapes here, so you can click on the shapes to see some options. So the first option here, the first drop down icon here, is used to change the shape. We have different shapes on Pixel Lab, so you can use any shape in your design. Don't think you are limited to using square alone. Nope, we don't do that here. So you can pick a circle, a semicircle, arrow, triangle, star, love, thunder, rhombus, pentagon, hexagon, message box, round message box, thought box, and so on and so forth. And you can also change the opacity. Okay, for a square, we have something that they call radius. Radius is curving the edges of your shape. So you can change the radius, you can increase or decrease the radius here, you can alter the radius here. Can you see this? If you don't want to use a square and you don't want to use a circle, you can use the radius seek bar to stay in between a square and a circle. So you can choose any other shape, but not all shapes have the radius effect. It's only square that has the radius effect. So radius and opacity of the fill. What the fill means is the particular color that fills the shape or an object. That is the fill. So you can increase or decrease the opacity of the fill. Can you see this? The text behind is already showing when I decrease the opacity. So that's about the opacity of the fill. And the next one is the fill color itself. I can change the fill color to any color of my choice. And before I move further, let me quickly give you a guide on how to use your own custom colors. So if you want to set a custom color, you click on this plus icon. So let us click on it. So we have our color box dialog. And what this is indicating, the first one here is indicating the color you are picking. And this one also is indicating the X color code, and also the RGB color code, the X color code and the RGB color code. And this one here is indicating, it is the color picker tool. This is the if you want to add a custom X color code, if you have your custom X color code, probably you're working for a brand that has a custom hex color code. So and the brand gives you the X color code, and you can't be finding the particular color. It is very difficult for you to find a particular color on your dialog box, on your color palette. So you can use the custom color code. But before we do that, let us firstly check the color picker tool, the first one here. So we have our background here. At this point, we have more than one element on our screen. It's going to show them up here. So you can click on each element that is shown up here to pick a color from them. So we have black background, right? So we can choose a color. Just place this color picker on any place. So just place it on any place, and after placing it on any place, just click on mark. You see the color you are picking here. So click on apply. So after clicking on apply, the second one is the if you want to add your custom X color code or custom RGB color code. Hex color code is a 6 or 8 digit code that is used to distinguish colors, that is unique to each color. Let me say, for example, 19078E. So if you add this color, you just click on this apply. When you click on apply, can you see it is showing the color here? So that is the color for one of my projects. That is the hex color code for one of my projects. And the RGB color code is shown here. This is the RGB color code section. Can you see the red percentage in this color is 25 all over 255. The total should be 255, 255, 255. So for the green is 7 and for the blue is 142. So let us click OK. So if you want to alter this, if you the main color box, you can use this. This is the major color circle. So you can set your color from this, and we also have 3 sliders here. First slider, second slider, and third slider. So I will explain what the sliders are used for. So if you want to pick a color on your screen, you just have to, you see the small color picker. So you see the small color picker, just use it, you just drag it to any color, you place it on any color that you want to pick. Let's pick blue. I love blue. So let's pick blue. After picking blue, this first one is used to fade it off into white. It's used to fade your color off into white. So if I should drag it to the back, it is fading it gradually to white. Do you get what I'm saying? As you can see, this one has been moved from here to here. So I can also turn it back on. And the second slider is used to fade your color into black. So you can fade it off into black this way. Can you see it has been faded off into black, and you can fade it back to normal. Use the first slider to fade into white, second to fade into black, and the third one is used to fade into transparency. Is to fade into transparency. You can fade it into transparency, so it is getting transparency gradually. So that is how to set your color. So I think we are done on color. And for the gradients, okay, for the gradients, you can also add your color by clicking this plus button. And for this gradients, we have a section of a row of views here. So the first one is the horizontal, vertical, angular, radial, horizontal. Okay, vertical, radial, and horizontal, radial. So this is the horizontal. Can you see this? We have 2 sliders here, the first one and the second one. So if you want to change the color of this first one, you just have to click on this icon here. You just have to click on this icon here. By clicking on it, you can change the color. So you can change the color to any color you like, and the second one you can change it to any color you love. And for this icons here, this one is to add a slider. So a slider has been added in the middle. You can add another slider that has been added. You can delete this slider using the second icon here. This is the minus icon, so you can delete it. You can delete it. And this one, let's add the slider first, and you can use it to move the slider. You can use this third one to move the slider. So to move between sliders, you see the picking was already, it was on this first one here, so I move it to the second one, to the third one. So assuming you have a lot of sliders on your color slider, so you have to move them with the with the position movement. So, and the fourth one is to swap your sliders. So when I click on it, can you see it has been swapped? And the fifth one is the second of this third one, so you can use it to move between your sliders. And the sixth one is to pick a color. So after making your changes, you have to click on OK. But before that, you might not love this view. You can use all the views on this. You can use other views from this row of views. So this is the vertical. Can you see the change? The angular, the radial, the vertical radial, and the horizontal radial. So let us use the angular. So can you see it has been applied? And the stroke, you know what the stroke is about. You know how to change the stroke and the opacity of your stroke, and the color of your stroke as well. The blur radius of your stroke is just how blurry you want the stroke to look like. So let me add a stroke and some blur. So this is looking like a shadow. Can you see it is blurring into your shape? So that is about the stroke. Thank you for watching. I think that is the end of this video. See you in the next video. Bye for now.